He was sweating long before she arrived. Daniel checked his reflection in the dusty glass window of the diner, the cheapest place in town, the place people visited only when they had no better options. The flickering neon sign above him buzzed weakly, spelling out Marty's Diner in half-broken red letters. It wasn't romantic. It wasn't impressive. It definitely wasn't the sort of place you take a woman like Emma on a first date. But it was all Daniel could afford. And tonight he was terrified she would see that. He kept wiping his palms on his jeans, glancing at his phone, every few seconds as if time might suddenly speed up or slow, down based on his heartbeat. His pulse was frantic, hopeful, scared. Then he heard the soft click of heels approaching behind him. When he turned around and saw her gentle smile, her simple blue dress swaying in the cool evening breeze, he forgot how to breathe. "Hi," she said softly. And in that single moment, Daniel realized something painfully clear. He was already falling for her. Call to action or one. Before the story continues, if you're listening on Whispers of Kindness, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Tell us, have you ever had a date that changed your life? Your comments help this channel grow and bring more heart-touching stories to you. Now, back to the story. Daniel pushed open the diner door for her, bracing himself for embarrassment. Inside, the place was nearly empty except for an elderly couple, sitting by the window and a truck driver nursing a cup of coffee at the counter. The smell of frying onions filled the air. A jukebox in the corner played an old love song slightly out of tune. "This is nice," Emma said with genuine warmth as she slid into the booth. Daniel blinked at her. "Really? You're not disappointed?" Emma tilted her head, studying his expression. "Should I be?" Daniel looked down at the scratch table and swallowed hard. "Most girls want fancy restaurants." "Not this," she smiled. "Most girls aren't me." Her answer stunned him. No judgment, no sarcasm. Just kindness, unexpected, simple, and healing. The waitress arrived with 2 menus, asking if they wanted the special. Daniel nodded quickly, not because he wanted it, but because it was the cheapest thing on the board. Emma didn't protest. She didn't even ask what it was. She just smiled and said, "The special sounds great," and something inside Daniel loosened just a little. As they talked, he learned things about her he never expected. She loved painting sunsets. She had lost her mother at 17. She still believed in miracles, even when life gave her every reason not to. And she listened, really listened when Daniel spoke. She laughed at his jokes, not because they were funny, but because she cared enough to hear the heart behind them. But the moment that truly broke him was when she looked at the cracked walls, the ancient lights, the peeling menu boards, and said, "You know what I like about this place? Nothing is trying to be perfect. It just is, and sometimes that's enough." Daniel swallowed a lump in his throat, because he had spent his entire life trying to hide his imperfections, and tonight, for the first time, someone made him feel like maybe he didn't have to. But life rarely gives a perfect moment without testing it. Just as their meals arrived, the door slammed open. A group of well-dressed men walked in, laughing loudly, clearly drunk. Daniel recognized one of them instantly. Marcus, Emma's ex, the man who came from money, privilege, and everything Daniel didn't have. Marcus froze when he saw them. Then his eyes narrowed. "Emma, you're here? With him?" Daniel felt Emma stiffen. She didn't say a word. Marcus walked right up to their table, smirking. "A cheap diner? Seriously? This is where he brought you? You downgraded, Emma, big time." Daniel felt every insecurity in his body flare up at once. The cheap plates, the noisy fryers, the dented metal napkin holder. His entire life suddenly felt exposed, judged, and mocked. He wanted to disappear, but Emma reached across the table and took his hand. Firmly, deliberately. "Marcus," she said, her voice steady. "Leave." He scoffed. "Come on, Emma, you're better than this. Look at him." And then, in a single breathtaking moment, she stood up, her hands shaking, her eyes bright. "I am better," she whispered. "That's why I'm here." The whole diner fell silent. Even Marcus froze. Emma leaned slightly toward him and said, "You had money, Marcus, but you never had kindness. Daniel may not have much, but he has a heart, and that's worth more than any restaurant you could ever take me to." Marcus muttered something under his breath and stalked out, humiliated. Daniel sat there stunned, staring at Emma like she was a miracle wrapped in soft blue fabric. "Why would you say that?" he asked quietly. She sat down again, smiling gently. Because it's true. Daniel looked at her for a long moment, really looked. Her honesty, her courage, her kindness. He had never met anyone like her. The rest of the night passed in gentle laughter, soft conversations, and moments so small yet so unforgettable that Daniel knew he would carry them with him forever. When they finally stepped outside, the night was cool and silent. Emma hugged her arms around herself. Daniel shrugged off his jacket and placed it gently on her shoulders. "Thank you," she whispered. "For what?" he asked. "For choosing something real. For not pretending to be someone else. For letting me see you." Daniel swallowed hard. "No one's ever said something like that to me." She stepped closer, her voice barely above a breath. "Well, I mean it." Her fingers intertwined with his, and standing under the broken neon lights. For the first time in years, Daniel felt like he wasn't alone. He walked her to her car. Just before she got in, she turned around and said something he would never forget. "Daniel, next time take me wherever you want. I don't need fancy. I need honest." He watched her drive away with a heart so full it almost hurt. He stood there long after she disappeared, the cold wind brushing against his face. He didn't have money. He didn't have status. But tonight he learned something life-changing. Sometimes the most beautiful moments grow in the most ordinary places. Sometimes love begins in a cheap diner. And sometimes people surprise you, not with their perfection, but with their kindness. And that night, Emma surprised everyone. But most of all, she surprised Daniel. Their journey ahead wouldn't be easy. They would face judgment, insecurities, and the weight of their differences. But they would face every challenge with honesty, humility, and a shared belief that real love doesn't need luxury. It needs heart. And for them, that was enough. Call to action number 2. If this story touched your heart, please support Whispers of Kindness. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Comment below. Do you believe simple places can hold the biggest moments? Your engagement helps this family grow and continue spreading positivity and kindness.